The president of a defense lawyers group says strike action is possible if the Alberta government doesn't come to the table with serious cash to fix legal aid. It's not an empty threat. Ian Savage, president of the Calgary Criminal Defense Lawyers Association, said at a news conference Tuesday. Savage said Legal Aid Alberta needs an immediate infusion of cash so the province's working poor are able to get a lawyer if they need one. Story continues below. Advertisement cases are being delayed more and more, and it's just a fact that the system is underfunded throughout and it's falling apart, he said. We're talking about poor people here. He said lawyers could well follow the example set by their legal aid counterparts in Ontario 5 years ago who essentially went on strike until changes were made. It's absolutely an option, he said. What happened in Ontario was the senior lawyers collectively agreed not to take on any new cases for a period of months, including murders and all other serious matters. Those clients essentially went unrepresented for months and months while the government struggled to find them lawyers in another fashion. Savage said anyone making more than $19,000 a year is ineligible for legal aid in Alberta. The government's increases to minimum wage, now at $13.60 an hour, could put some full-time workers over that threshold for assistance, he said. The simple math of the matter clearly demonstrates that by the government's own numbers really poor people, in particular the working poor, are not even eligible for legal aid, Savage said. Story continues below. Advertisement, it's going in the wrong way. Scott Sehested, a spokesman for Justice Minister Kathleen Ganley, said the government increased funding for Legal Aid Alberta in this year's budget. He said the increase reflects the government's commitment to ensuring legal aid services are available for people who need them. Since 2015, the government has increased legal aid funding by nearly 40%, raised the minimum income level to access legal aid representation and increased tariffs for legal aid lawyers. The department is negotiating a new governance agreement for Legal Aid Alberta with the Law Society of Alberta, he said. The negotiations will determine long-term funding for duty counsel at first appearance bail hearings. The agreement is expected to be in place by the end of this year. Story continues below. Advertisement, legal aid funding in Alberta was set at $89 million for 2018. Calgary defense lawyers began job action last month by moving files from the Case Management Office, a counter at the courthouse where justices of the peace handle logistics, to courtrooms with judges. Savage said a significant number of cases being set for trial will slow the courts down even further. The association wants a 65% increase, or about $60 million, over 4 years, starting with a 40% bump this year. Savage said there have been some discussions over the last week behind the scenes, but added the government needs to negotiate in earnest. We are waiting for the government to come to us and negotiate in good faith, but with dollars on the table.